This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Leaded, designed for extra miles.
In one of a series of educational forums on the gender equality bills held on Grand Bahama, members of the Constitutional Commission met with employees in the island's health sector. Cleopatra Murphy was there.
No stone was left unturned by members of the Constitutional Commission after they held an educational forum on the gender equality bills with staff at Grand Bahama Health Services, Administrator Sharon Williams says. Williams, who says the presentation was well put together, says she was impressed by the caliber of questions staff put forth, and she feels they now have a better understanding of the four bills.
One of the challenges for all of us, though, is making sure that all citizens of the Bahamas have equal rights. And the questions and the answers that we saw coming out prove that they are going to have equal rights under the changes in the proposed changes in the Constitution.
Communications Manager Valeria Burrows says the presentation was well received. There were areas she wanted clarity on before going into the meeting, and she says those were addressed.
I want to be as fair as I possibly can. My thing is, I may not have done what others had done to put yourselves in a situation that we find ourselves in, where those children were born out of marriage, within the marriage, etc., etc. My thing is, I want to try and put myself in the position of these individuals who may find themselves in those situations.
Burrows says she now plans to seek God's guidance when she votes on the four bills when a date is set for the gender equality referendum.
Whatever I decide as a citizen of this country, it impacts my country towards the end of time. It's about the future of our country. And I want to make sure I make the best possible decision with God's guidance for the development of my country.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, staff at the Princess Margaret Hospital celebrated the professional career of Beverly Archer with two renaming of two pieces of lab equipment in her honor on Friday. Archer, who works in the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine, was surprised when she showed up at work and was left speechless by the display of appreciation. Family members were also present for the occasion. Archer offered advice to staff as she prepares to leave the profession.
I never imagined anything of this nature, and because we've never done it in this fashion. So I guess everything changes as time goes on. So I'm really grateful. I truly am grateful. Those who are coming after me, prepare yourselves mentally. I did that for 3 years after the age of 60, and they started preparing my staff. They can tell you that. I started preparing them to come down because any day can happen. I don't have to wait for 65. I may go before that in terms of health. But to the others, I ask them to continue this, walk in my footsteps, train your staff properly, give them all the information they need. And anything you need to take in, you take it in as well. And to make the road easier for you.
Colleague Stephanie Brainan had high praises for Archer and her work ethic. Having worked under the supervisor numerous times over the years, she says Archer is the best supervisor she has ever had.
She speaks to you first before she acts. I love her. I love her to death. And anyone who knows me in the lab knows that I'm a fun person. But for Miss Archer, she take it to the limit. When I say any other supervisor in the laboratory, they need to follow in her footsteps. She makes the staff comfortable. And why you think we did this in grand style? Because we love her so much. We really don't want her to go, but we know she's going.
And that does it for this portion of the news, but don't go anywhere. Sports is up next.